Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, liked, commented and shared. I truly appreciate you and I see you. So, all right, let's get into it. Today is only about audiobooks. I know some people think that audiobooks don't count as reading or whatnot, but I want you to remember that this is actually a kind of an ableist thing to say, that audiobooks don't count for the people who are physically unable to read words on paper. So I definitely think audiobooks count just as much as reading regular physical books. So always keep that in mind if anyone tries to tell you that, oh, you didn't read so many books because it's all audiobooks. Well, you still read it one way or another. And today I wanted to talk about one audiobook narrator in particular. Her name is Bahni Turpin. And the first audiobook that I listened to that was narrated by her was The Hate You Give. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I mean, the book itself is already amazing, but how Bahni narrated it, the emotions she put into it. I remember there were parts, when when there are shots fired, and the way she says "pow pow." I remember I was driving. I was like, she really got me. And also whenever there were like sad scenes where the person in the book was like crying, she said it as if this was her story. She was the person that endured all this and witnessed all this, and you can hear every single emotion in her voice, and she gave me goosebumps on so many occasions. So the book, as I said, is already amazing. The Hate You Give. I'm sure you heard about it. If not, go read it. There's even a movie out. I haven't watched it yet. I will eventually, but the book was already fantastic. And as I said, the narration was on point. I loved it. This was the first audiobook that I did where Bahni narrated it. And afterwards, whenever I started an audiobook and I was like, oh, wait, this voice sounds familiar. And then I looked it up. Oh, it's her again. So it's nice. So after a while, you get to know the voices, or it's like, wait, this sounds familiar. So that's pretty cool. The Hate You Give, the first book that I want to put you on, narrated by Bahni Turpin. If you're into audiobooks, if you want to listen to it, it's great. If you want to read it, that's fine too. I'm just saying, like, the narration is on point, so it's definitely worth listening to the audiobook as well. Another book she partly narrated, because this was actually divided into like 3 people that narrated it. The Other Black Girl. I'm sure you heard of the Hulu series that just came out, and it was actually based on this book. And I decided to do the audiobook. I think I did it earlier this or last year. I think last year. And I, again, enjoyed it so much. The voices, the emotions, the book itself, of course, needs to be good too. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how good the narration is. But the way these women were reading and narrating this story was fantastic. I definitely laughed out loud a couple times, not just because what was written was funny, but also how they said it, And actually, here, I'll put the other names from the other ladies who narrated this book as well. Credit where credit is due. But as I said, this video is about audiobooks narrated by Bahni Turpin, so this is why this is definitely one of them that I can recommend. The next book is, I already mentioned it in another video, You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. I loved this book. I started it as an ebook, and then I decided to switch to audiobook. And again, Bahni is perfect. She was the perfect choice to be the voice of Faye and I mean everyone else in this book. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you have not heard about it, I put the synopsis right here so you can pause to read. I thoroughly enjoyed the book. Everyone kept saying Fei is so messy and this is so crazy and oh my god, this is so whatever. And then my expectations were super high. I was like, wow, what is this person doing that's so crazy? And then I was reading the book and I'm like, she did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. I'm telling you. I really like this book. She was upfront with everyone in the book. She was always like straight up, and I don't see any mistakes she made. Like, Fei is my girl. Like, I'm actually pretty jealous of the well, I don't want to spoil anything. So yes, it's a good book. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed living vicariously through Fei, you know, living my best life on an island. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting book. So feel free to check it out. Another book that I already mentioned in my August wrap up. Was it August? I think August wrap up. My August wrap up is Black Candle Woman. This one I did start as the physical copy. That's why I bought it, but I ended up listening to the audiobook. So this one was also narrated by Bahni Turpin, and again, she was the perfect cast for it. Do I say that for audiobooks too? Cast? Yeah, right. She was perfect for this story, the way she read these different ladies, and again, you can really feel every emotion that she is, like, she has to portray, like every emotion that she's going through or these ladies are going through, you can hear it, and I so appreciate that. It made the book a whole lot better. I also just found out when I looked her up and tried to see, okay, which audiobooks did I actually listen to that were narrated by her. I'm sure I missed a couple, but these were like one of my favorites that I just mentioned. So there was this other book that is still on my TBR, and it's actually from the same author who also wrote The Hate You Give. It is called On the Come Up, and the audiobook is also narrated by Bahni Turpin. So even though I bought this, I might end up listening to the audiobook. In my defense, this one was $2 from a library sale. So does it still say library? No, but it has the thingy, so you know it's like a old library book. But yeah, $2, that's awesome, right? And if this is as good as The Hate You Give and Concrete Rose actually will definitely get like its own video, because this is one of my all-time favorite books. Okay, I'm not getting into all this now, but it's one of my 5-star reads so far. I think this is, yeah, in my top 5 for this year already. It's October. Yeah, definitely in my top 5, maybe even spot 1. It was fantastic. So I have high expectations for this one. I really hope that this is just as good, if not better, who knows. But yes, this is also narrated by Bahni Turpin, so I already know that this will be fantastic in case I start reading the physical book and then I want to do the audiobook. So let's see. Anyways, these were the books that I thoroughly enjoyed that were narrated by her, and I can definitely recommend each and every one. If I forgot any, if you listen to any audiobooks which Bahni narrated, please let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll check it out, because I think the narration is so important when it comes to audiobooks. If the narrator is not good, then I cannot listen to it. But alright guys, this was it for today. I hope you got some good recommendations. If you like audiobooks at all, let me know if any of them spiked your interest. If you do not like audiobooks, then will you maybe give it a try? Let me know in the comments, and I see you guys next week. Bye.